at www.pyreneesvineyard.com to schedule a tasting or order our award-winning wines. That's PYRENEES vineyard.com, and don't forget to join us at the river.
No holds barred here, ladies and gentlemen. Fred Dreyer's in the room here. Yes, I'm talking about the football great, the actor extraordinaire, and now talk show host, Fred Dreyer here. Fred tells it like it is, doesn't mince his words here, and we have a situation that, well, according to the media and according to the politicians, come August 2nd, this country may be without a budget, and watch out, I'm getting scared, right?
Yeah, it's a complete political hype, and all the Republicans have to do, and they're not willing to do it probably, it looks like, thanks to Mitch McConnell and these other idiots who have decided we have to reach across the aisle, we have to compromise.
Mitch is reaching across. He says, let's put the money, let's go ahead and raise the debt ceiling one more time, but make sure the Democrats guarantee they'll make cuts over a period of time.
That's what you don't want to do. That's the model you want to stay away from. First of all, there's no money going to be raised under any circumstance, number one. That's what a parent would do. You're not going to give your 2-year-old a chainsaw with provisions that, well, we'll have a doctor on standby in case he hurts himself. You don't want to give these people the money, period. No money. Then when they say, well, if you don't have the money, we're going to go broke, then you say, start cutting government. Let the Democrats come up with a plan that tells the American people, okay, we're not going to raise the debt ceiling, $2.5 trillion. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to now start cutting government, not raising taxes. That's the problem.
You said this is the problem. You said that the Republicans will get reelected if they just do this. The Democrats, for that matter, will get reelected if they do this. If you had Democrats reaching across the aisle as well to say, look, okay, we get the message. We're not going to get a debt ceiling raise. We're going to go ahead and have to make some cuts. Here's what we're proposing cuts.
The elections of November have to be brought to the forefront by Republicans in order for them to have an ongoing conversation. The window of conversation and communication to the American people comes from the November elections of last year. The American people said, we do not want to compromise. There's no compromise now. We want to end this. We want our country back. No more compromise. We don't want you to reach across the aisle.
Get your house in order, balance the budget.
That's it.
Okay, so let's get some comments from you because John Boehner is here talking about sort of an overview of everything.
The House will pass a plan that addresses our debt and spending while taking action on the debt ceiling. And while the House once again acts responsibly, the administration still won't present a plan or even say what cuts it's willing to make to end Washington's spending binge and the economic uncertainty that it's creating.
You agree with the Speaker?
So far.
So far. Let's get a little bit more from Speaker John Boehner.
This legislation ensures future spending restraints are set in stone, cuts government spending, and puts our country on a path toward fiscal stability while making the necessary debt limit increase. Unfortunately, the president has said that he will veto this bill.
Still online with him?
Yes, but before we go forward,
yes.
I really want to make it clear.
Please.
Republicans have a tendency to round off the hard corners of what has to be done in answering to a political situation, and they're doing it in a position where only common sense and reason will prevail. You can't make a political compromise. It has to be outside the political umbrella of political ease and the way of doing business. This problem has got to the point where it's punched itself through the ceiling of politics. In order to fix this problem, Republicans and this man Boehner, who so far is very questionable to me, what he has to do, he has to lead the House of Representatives in this direction and help the American people understand that this is a Democratic problem, not a Republican problem, and that is you do not want to be tagged with an obstructionist label. So in order to do that, you have to keep the window of conversation over about what the American people want. There's no compromise under any circumstances, Mr. President. No money. Now, we want you to tell us what you're going to do to keep the country from going bankrupt, which is not going to happen. But we'll just use your opinion right now for this and tell us what you're going to do to cut government. That's the problem. If you start talking about we got to fix the problem, we got to raise taxes, that's the wrong way to go. You have to be able to do two things. No raise of any cap, no spending cap, no ceiling raised under any circumstances, and you must, Mr. President, come up with tax with the cut in government, not in spending, but in government. Remember,
cut government out.
It's one thing. It's one thing to say, your car is smoking prohibitively. We have to fix that. So let's fix the oil leakage, blow by through the rings, and the expulsion of smoke through the tailpipe. Well, how about just getting rid of the car? It doesn't work anymore. And you can't put money into fixing something that shouldn't be there in the first place. You shouldn't be driving that car to begin with. Get rid of it.
It's not fitting in with today's standards.
And that's the problem. The Republicans will not come out and say the Department of Energy, Department of Education should be cut. Start going down the list and telling them what should be cut. And here's the reasons why. You could save trillions of dollars just on the Department of Education and the Department of Energy.
All right, final comment from House Speaker John Boehner.
This unfortunate veto threat should make clear that the issue is not congressional inaction, but rather the president's unwillingness to cut spending and restrain the future growth of our government.
Okay, but again, I would like to have my leaders, people who have been elected to office, start talking in a different language. Remember, it's the battle of language that the Democrats are winning. They are winning the battle of the lexicon. They're winning the battle of the machinery, the propaganda mill. You have to now start, instead of talking about spending, you have to start talking about government cutting. You have to now start talking about rolling back, getting rid of Obamacare. That's what the November elections were about. Get rid of it. Start talking about it right now. What are they waiting for?
Get it going. Now, Senator Ken Conrad, the Democrat from North Dakota, had an opposing viewpoint.
What has been clear is that Republicans are dealing in a dream world with respect to where this debt is headed. As I say, every bipartisan commission that's taken this problem on has come back with a balanced approach, one that includes additional revenue, usually by tax reform, broadening the base, some cases actually lowering tax rates to help make the country more competitive, but also spending cuts and entitlement reform, a full comprehensive package on the range of $4 trillion. Everyone knows that's about what's required to change the trajectory the country is on. And our friends on the other side are, especially in the House of Representatives, in deep denial.
Look, this guy's a liar. He represents a politic that's failed everywhere it's been in the world.
Can't understand what he's saying.
He's
to me.
failed.
He
he is just propagandizing.
Propaganda.
And when he says balance, that means compromise. That's what balance means. We have to be balanced. That's compromise. You don't want to compromise with anybody like this. You just want to tell me, shut up and sit down.
The voters have made their statement. They've made their
There's no
referendum.
discussion. You're not going to give the baby a chainsaw. Take the chainsaw and put it in the truck.
Time to take the
and
chainsaws
now,
away.
Here's what we're going to do.
Let's get safety in here.
Right. There you go.
All right, Fred Dreyer's here, ladies and gentlemen. He is guesting. He is the man with the plan. Well, I think he's got this plan. He's saying, no compromise.
Very clear.
Very clear. Very simple plan. Straight ahead, we continue. PM show on CRN Digital Talk Radio.